You're watching Ned the Dead and Doc Moreau. Check out their stuff at nedthedead.com.
Welcome to Chiller Theater with Ned the Dead, Dr. Moreau, and Edna the Talking Skull. Tonight, Horror Hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, Ned the Dead.
Hey everybody, Chiller Theater's here. Are you? Hey friends, tonight we have a movie. It's called Horror Hotel. It goes a little something like this. Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of a flaming street called Horror Hotel. I've been so lonely, baby. I've been so lonely. I've been so lonely, I'm gonna die. That is what the story is on Horror Hotel. It's a fiendish group of fiendish, freakish people that are fiendish in nature. And there's fiends that come and join with other fiends, and they do fiendish, horrible things. And that's what makes Chiller Theater what it is today, my friends. Now, we have a little segment each and every week where we share with you the glory of the movie ahead, all of the unusual things, the people who started in these rotten movies and made it to the big time, or just quirky little things about the movie, presented by our very own quirky, funk-ridden Doc Moreau. Now, Doc Moreau is a big, unusual man who spends much of his life with the horrible dangling shrew, the horrible shrew that has chosen to use its horrible prehensile tail to treat you to some gymnastics, some shrew gymnastics. All right, everybody, we're going to go see Doc Moreau's movie lore. Look at you, my little shrew. Look at the way you move. You're a nasty little shrew. It's movie lore with Doc Moreau.
A beautiful blonde takes a fateful road trip, checks into a mysterious hotel with a creepy proprietor, and soon goes missing. Then her sibling shows up searching for her. Sounds a lot like Psycho, doesn't it? It does! Except these are also the plot points of Horror Hotel, and it was not a ripoff of Psycho because it was released the very same year, 1960. Horror Hotel features screen legend Christopher Lee, maybe once most famous for playing Dracula in many classic Hammer films, but his career is still going strong decades later. Remember, he was most recently the sorcerer Saruman the White in the Lord of the Rings films, and in the Star Wars films, he was Darth Tyrannus / Count Dooku. Not bad to be in such blockbuster film franchises in your 80s. Hey, before I go on, have you checked out the new Bionic Woman TV series, Wednesday nights here on NBC 26? Did you know its star, the gorgeous Michelle Ryan, is British? Talks like Bloody Mary Poppins, she does. Like many British and Australian actors currently invading Hollywood, Michelle Ryan has perfected an American accent. Unlike the British cast in Horror Hotel, who seem to not even be trying to hide their English accents, though the movie is set in America. Actually, New England. Well, maybe they're speaking New English. Back to you, Ned.
Hey, thanks, Doc Moreau, for your movie lore. Always cataclysmic. You know what I mean, right, Mr. Shrew? I know you feel the same way. All right, friends, let's gear up. Let's gather round. Get your popcorn and your root beer, because it's time now for Horror Hotel. Roll it, Lester, or what? Foggy enough for you? Looks like a chilly morning in Kakana.
Fog or the mists of time?
Bring out Elizabeth Selwyn.
Witch! Burn the witch!
Jethrow Keane, hast thou consorted with the witch Elizabeth Selwyn?
I have not consorted with that witch, Elizabeth Selwyn.
No. Burn the witch!
Hey, Charlie Murphy's cooking Johnsonville broths.
Johnsonville brats, Johnsonville brats.
Help her, Lúcifer. Help her. Elizabeth Selwyn, on this 3rd day of March, in the year of our Lord, 1692, we, the people of Whitewood, Massachusetts, condemn thee as a witch. May the flames cleanse thy soul of its evil, of its lust for blood, and may they bring about the death of Abigail Adams.
My pact with the Lúcifer. Hear me!
Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
So shouted the people of Whitewood when they burned Elizabeth Selwyn in 1692. Though, as I've said, little is known today of the actual practice of witchcraft in 17th century New England, superstition, fear, and jealousy drove the Puritans to accuse their friends and relatives of consorting with the devil. Raiding around huge bonfires, repeating vindictive chants, they consigned the poor creatures to the flames. The tortured souls cried out in agony as the flames mounted higher and higher. Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
Dig that crazy beat.
That will be all for today. Tomorrow will be my concluding lecture on the history of witchcraft in 17th century New England. I shall bring along some illustrations which I'm sure will interest you all.
I'll bring the matches.
Maitland! Since you chose to attend these lectures, I had hoped that it was in a spirit of scientific curiosity about the subject.
Yeah, Maitland, we'll handle the jokes.
Jerk.
That'll be all.
Bill, how could you?
He takes it all so darn seriously. He's got you all hypnotized.
Oh, Miss Barlow.
Yes, Professor.
Can I see you for a moment, please?
What about our date?
I mean...
Look, I'll wait for you outside. Huh?
Yes, Professor.
Rather a difficult young man, that. I fear that you are more of an attraction to him than my poor efforts. However, I've been reading through your papers, Miss Barlow. They show a very sound appreciation of the subject.
I want to go to New England to do my senior paper.
Mm-hmm. They're really quite good, you know.
Well, I'm not quite sure. Some first-hand research. I want to get the atmosphere. Find out how widespread witchcraft really was. What the witches were really like.
That might take a little time, you know.
Well, I have the time. My brother and I were going to spend our vacation with our cousins. What I'd really like to do is to get a room in the smallest, oldest town in New England I can find. Check through all the town hall records. Recheck the libraries. Talk to the Puritan descendants. Make a really thorough investigation.
Your brother is professor of science, Miss Barlow. I hardly think he'd be very interested in the history of witchcraft.
Then I'd go alone.
You don't think he'd object to that?
You leave Richard to me. He's picking me up here for lunch.
Hello, Bill. Professor Barlow. Nan here? Yeah, she's in there with him. Well, I don't like her getting mixed up in this witchcraft business.
Why not? It's only part of a history course.
Professor Barlow. Before you go in there, could I have a word with you?
Sure.
Well, it's about Nan and me.
Oh.
If you're really serious about this, I happen to know of a town in New England. As a matter of fact, it's the identical place where the events occurred that I mentioned in today's lecture, Whitewood. It's quite a small place. It's a little bit off the beaten track, so maybe these directions will help you.
Thank you.
I think you might very well find what you're looking for there. I happen to know the woman who owns the inn at Whitewood. Her name is Newless, Mrs. Newless. So you just tell her I sent you.
Raven's Inn, Whitewood.
What's Whitewood?
Now, Dick, don't be too upset, but I'm going to change my plans for the vacation.
Change your plans?
Yes. Going to a place called Whitewood for a week or so to do some research.
Who are you? What about Cousin Sue? Why, she's expecting you for a birthday party on the 17th. She'll never forget.
I can still easily make it by then. This is important. My term paper's got to be good. It could mean a scholarship.
And I've made all the arrangements.
Come on, Dick. You'll have a good time without me. My mind's made up. I'm going to Whitewood.
Surely any good encyclopedia will give you all the nonsense you want to know about witchcraft.
Witchcraft is not nonsense, Barlow.
I'm sorry, Driscoll. Witchcraft, black magic, sorcery. To me, it's nothing but fairy tale mumbo-jumbo. I'm a scientist, Driscoll. I believe what I can see, what I can feel and touch.
The basis of fairy tales is reality. The basis of reality is fairy tales.
Did you ever meet a witch, Driscoll?
Perhaps.
Oh, come on. You're an historian. No witch ever survived the burning at the stake for all their pacts with the devil.
In 1692, Elizabeth Selwyn went to the stake. She was buried in a churchyard in New England. And yet 3 years later...
Yeah?
3 years later, a new wave of blood sacrifices broke out in the village that had condemned her. The daughters of the elders who had condemned her were themselves found murdered with every last drop of blood drained from their bodies. And afterwards, people came forward to testify that they had actually seen Elizabeth Selwyn.
Oh, stop. This would be more effective at midnight with howling winds and crashing thunder, and even then it wouldn't frighten anyone.
Dick, I'm sorry, Professor Driscoll.
That's all right, Miss Barlow. You won't be the first person to have scoffed at the subject.
Honey, when you get to, where is it?
Whitewood.
Ah, yes, Whitewood. Well, send me a picture postcard of a witch. If possible, autographed. Now, let's have some lunch, eh?
I'm sorry, I have a date.
Nan, darling, I still don't see why you have to go off to this Whitewood place. Now, I thought we were going to have some time together during this vacation.
You know I want to be with you. It's just this is important.
Look, what the heck can you find that hasn't been found before?
I don't know. It's just that maybe, hidden in some attic or buried in some old antique shop, there's something that might give a whole new outlook to the subject.
What new outlook can there be?
You're a science student, honey. You know how important research is.
But this isn't about anything real. This is just superstitious people burning silly old women.
But suppose the women weren't silly. Suppose they really had a pact with the devil. A pact that could have supernatural power.
Oh, come on. What kind of power?
I don't know.
Oh, look, it's no use, Bill. We've both tried our hardest to talk her out of going.
Do you really think she will find anything worthwhile?
Well, I think we have to respect her desire to find something new, even if we don't agree with the subject.
Agree with it? I've never heard so much nonsense as that guy Driscoll talks in all my life.
Well, here I am, all packed.
Oh, I suppose there's nothing I can say will stop you from going, huh? Yeah, well, I'll put this in the car.
I still hoped you'd change your mind, Nan.
Don't worry, darling. I'll be back as quick as I can, and I'll write.
Well, don't forget me altogether, huh?
I won't. Give Sue my love, and don't forget we have a date at her party.
Bye, darling.
Man, if no one heard those brakes, they ain't gonna hear the horn, honey.
Excuse me, can you help me? I seem to be lost.
Sure, if I can.
I'm looking for the Wamport Road.
Wamport Road, hardly anyone uses that anymore.
Well, my friend gave me the directions. Take Road 28A, turn onto the Wamport Road, bear left at the fork through to Whitewood.
Whitewood?
Am I that far away?
No, ma'am, not far. Not many God-fearing folks visit Whitewood nowadays. If I were you, I'd...
If you'll excuse me, I'm in a hurry. Which way is it?
Well, follow this road about 2 miles. You come to a fork. There'll be a sign, Wamport Road. Turn left, keep straight. There'll be Whitewood.
Thank you very much.
Hey, everybody, Chiller Theater, we're back at you. What do you think there, Doc?
Isn't that some cool fog they have going
there's
there?
quite a lot of it, my friend, as well. You know,
I love the fog.
Oh, I love places.
Stay away from the fog.
You know,
Do not go into the fog.
Do you realize that I am partially obscured by an amber shrew? Look at the amber light. You notice we use the amber light on the front of the booth. And the horrible little shrew, I'm going to stick him back up in his little area up there because I'll tell you what, as much as I don't have any feelings of, oh, look, he's having a little nappy.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
She likes people like her, and people who like people like Dial.
Because Dial soap never lets perspiration odor come between friends. Ordinary soap leaves thousands of bacteria on your skin, sort of like this. And these are the cause of perspiration odor. Dial with AT7 removes most of these bacteria, not just from under arms, but all over. Dial protects you long after your daily bath. Never lets perspiration odor come between friends.
She likes people like her, and people who like people like Dial.
Aren't you glad you use Dial? Don't you wish everybody did?
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
You know, the fact that I would allow what is happening right now, this is for your television enjoyment only. And I'd like to say that I'm about as uncomfortable as I'm getting more and more uncomfortable by the moment. All right, everyone. Today's helpful hint from Chiller Theater, and I'm going to get this done quick because this sucks. All right, here's what this is. Oh, yeah. Thanks, big buddy. This is don't touch my head. I hate that. Put your arm around me if you must. All right, today's helpful hints from Chiller Theater. This is about going steady. Just stop with that, would you? I'll tell you what, as much I like you, I do. We're not going steady anytime soon. Do not touch me with the lick hand under any circumstances, all right? Lick whatever you want on your own self. Just don't be working it into my world. Hey, if you need some tips about going steady, about what it's like and how special it is, we've got them for you here on Chiller Theater. It's part of our continuing effort to make your life better. So go now, friends, and enjoy some helpful hints on going steady. Get out of here. Dating. A world of opportunities awaits our young friend Woody here. Just him and a girl.
Just me and a girl. Well, that's all right.
Yes, Woody'd sure like that, but who should he ask? Not Janice. She's a snotty little biatch. Plus, she's way out of Woody's league. And not Betsy either. Even though she's sassy, it wouldn't be any fun. Yes, and she's perfect. Look at her go. She's loads of fun, so Woody is sure to have a good old time. But does Woody have the nads to call this kitten?
Ann, this is Woody. Well, I have a ticket for the High Teen Carnival Saturday, and, well, would you like to go?
Oh, really? No, thanks.
Maybe Woody should grow a pair.
Hi, Ann. What's you doing Saturday night?
Well, I guess I'm busy.
Oh, yeah? Any chance of giving for me?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Bye. A date with Woody. Saturday.
Mom, do we have any cleaning fluid? There's a spot on my coat.
Goodness, you know we have some.
Now it's party time. Let's watch Woody and his date get their 50s freak on. It's go time. The end of the date. Let's see if Woody can close the deal.
Well, it's getting late.
Yes, it is. I'd ask you in for a bite to eat if it weren't so late.
Say, that sounds good.
Don't. Good night, Woody.
Night, Ann.
Ah, that feels better. A perfect ending to a wonderful night. You know, friends, I'll tell you what, it's funny for me. Actually, first time I went steady was actually with an animal. It was actually, well, no, I'm only kidding. Didn't mean that. That was a little unusual. All right, so let's talk quickly about Horror Hotel, could we? I really am kidding. I don't want you to think, because steady, you know, you could go steady with an animal. I don't know if it would be against the law, because going steady doesn't mean that there has to be any
I bet it was a
untoward...
cat.
No,
Was it a cat?
It was not a cat. It was more of a farm-related animal, but it was not a, again, it was just more of a, we would go to the movie, we'd take some drives and stuff. I really didn't have any, let's just say that there was never any kissing involved or any of that kind of thing. I want you to know that now. Okay? Do you know that now? Do you believe and know?
Licking?
All right, please. No, that's all for you, my friend. That's
Petting?
No, there was none of that.
Fur stroking?
All right, let's get ourselves to Horror Hotel, everybody, please. This is, what time is it? Is it past 4 a.m. yet? Yet.
Lamport Road?
Lamport Road, yes.
Oh, good. I was afraid I missed it.
Is it Whitewood you seek?
Yes.
I, too. Would I be imposing if...
No, of course not. Get in.
Thank you.
I think the Highway Commission would do something about these roads. Watch out, here comes another bump.
How can she see the bump coming in all that fog? Stop that! Stop, what are you riding?
What is your mission in Whitewood?
Mission? Well, I'm going there to do some research on witchcraft. Professor Driscoll gave us some very interesting lectures on the subject. I'm going there to get some original source material. Do you know Whitewood?
I've known it for many years.
Do you go there often?
Fairly often.
Oh, then you must know the Raven's Inn.
I shall be resting there.
Oh, so shall I. Oh, my name's Nan Barlow.
My name's Jethrow Keane.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
Just like a picture out of a history book. I feel as though I were in the 17th century. Why hasn't Whitewood been written about?
Well, it's off the beaten path. You tourists come here. For Whitewood, time stands still.
Look at that church. Must have been beautiful. What a shame they let it get so run down. Straight on?
Yes, follow the road around.
Ah, there it is. What a lovely old building. 17th century at least. How picturesque can you get? Right by the graveyard.
Yes, it has not been used for more than 200 years.
Any witches buried there?
There are indeed. All in a section of unconsecrated ground.
Spooky, isn't it? Well, keep your fingers crossed for me, Mr. Keane. I hope Mrs. Newless has that room.
Gone in a puff of smoke.
Yeah, dude, I don't think that's smoke.
Oh, I didn't hear you come in. Are you Mrs. Newless? Oh, I'm Nan Barlow. I was told I might find a room here.
What did she say?
Her name is Helen Keller.
I was recommended by a friend of mine, Professor Driscoll. Perhaps you know him.
That will be all, Lottie. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Unfortunately, Lottie cannot talk. I've often told her not to answer the bell.
Oh, poor thing. Then you're Mrs. Newless.
I am. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to have a room here for 2 weeks.
The hotel is quite full. Oh, the guests are never about at this time of the day.
Well, I'm a student of Professor Driscoll's. He told me if I mentioned his name, I'd have no trouble.
Well, there is a room I could let you have. It's just off the lobby.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Mrs. Newless, that plaque. Is it true that Elizabeth Selwyn was really burnt here for being a witch?
She was?
And do you believe she was a witch?
Come along. I'll show you to your room.
You know, the witch was Elizabeth Selwyn. Her name is Newless, and Newless is like Selwyn backwards.
You know, I'm so far ahead of you, I'm behind you. See?
I hope you will be comfortable. Yes, it is a nice room. The previous occupants have always found it most agreeable. Well, if there's anything you should need, just ring the bell for me at the desk.
Thank you.
Did she just put a picture of that jerk boyfriend under her pillow?
I think you might guess where I'd put it. Ugh.
It's been so many months. I've counted the days to this holiday.
So have the others. It wasn't easy for some of my guests to get here. Many had to travel vast distances.
I was lucky. The last few miles were enchanting. Miss Barlow is very good company.
You must be tired, Jethrow. Your room is ready.
And the festivities.
I am prepared.
Oh, Mrs. Newless. I thought I'd have a short look around town. I won't be gone long.
I think you'll find the church interesting. Unfortunately, it no longer has a congregation.
He will be pleased.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
This is one of my favorite places. It's a marsh that's managed and maintained by Ducks Unlimited. And its sole purpose is to provide a habitat for ducks, geese, birds, mammals, and fish. That gets to be a more important and difficult job each year. And we need your help to keep on doing it. I hope you can attend the Ducks Unlimited fundraising event in your town.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Ned, reach the bell! Ned, reach the bell! Ned, reach the bell!
Letters, we get letters, and the letters that we love to enjoy. What's up there, dude? What's going on?
I couldn't find the mail.
Dude,
I
wow.
looked and looked. I'm sorry. I couldn't find them.
What?
Hey, look, the shrew has taken your package. It's the horrible package of the shrew. Look, there.
Oh,
what a good
smiling.
shrew. Look, the happy meal delivering shrew. Yep, that's because he knows that he's got a good job, he does. He's a meal delivering shrew.
All right, here we go, everybody. We got a little something on the old Chiller Theater. In here now, a nasty little package. Oh, boy. Oh, no. What is that? All right, here we go, my friend. Here we go. All right, so this says, oh, no. All right. My dear Ned and Dr. Moreau, I was doing my spring cleaning this week and found little piles of the enclosed substance in every corner of my apartment. My guess is that it's dried shrew droppings, feces, well, whichever one you can say on the air, and there's a list that we can't.
Oh.
Before I incur the cost of an exterminator, I would like you guys who rule the expertise in culinary pleasures to taste it, analyze it, and let me know what to do. I appreciate your input. All right, here we go. So it says here, sample possible fancy feces produced by shrew. All right, let's find out here what we got. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. I believe that is. I believe that's from the shrew. I believe that is.
I'm told this was once a house of worship.
It is still a house of worship. I am the reverend of this church. As long as the breath of life is within me, this house shall remain God's house.
Must have been a beautiful building.
To me, it is still beautiful.
I'm sorry. What a shame the people have let it fall into such a state.
Strangers rarely come to Whitewood. Who are you?
I'm Nan Barlow. I'm staying at the Raven's Inn.
Why have you come to Whitewood?
Well, because I'm interested in witchcraft.
Young woman, leave Whitewood. Leave Whitewood tonight. For 300 years, the devil has hovered over this city, made it his own. The people in it are his. Evil has triumphed over good here. Look at my church. I have no parish. No one worships here. His is the power.
What power?
Leave Whitewood. Leave Whitewood tonight. I beg of you.
What power?
Leave before it is too late.
Well, I guess I got enough for that research term
Must
paper.
be a kegger going back on campus.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please excuse the mess. We haven't been open long.
You have some very interesting things here.
Yes, they belonged to my grandmother. When she died, I came back to sort things out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then you don't live here?
No, my family've lived here for generations, but I've just been back a few weeks. Would you like to have a look around?
Thank you. Oh, I didn't mean to frighten you when I came in. It's just that all the people I've met here have acted like I'm a person from another world.
They don't see many strangers here.
And I had the most, unusual experience with the Reverend. He barred my way from the church. And he talked to me about a curse. And he warned me to leave Whitewood. Can you explain that?
No, I can't.
Does he often act that way?
He's my grandfather.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. It's happened before with strangers. Oh, the lack of parishioners and loss of his sight has made him bitter and suspicious.
I'm afraid what with him and the town, I was very scared. When I saw your lights, I made a dash for them.
I'm glad you did.
Do you have any books or pamphlets on witchcraft? You do, don't you? A friend of mine...
Oh, we have a collection gathering dust, but why on earth would you be interested in... Oh, I'm sorry. It's really none of my business.
No, that's all right. I'm studying it in college, and I've come here to write my term paper.
Well, just wait. I'll see what I can find. That's Elizabeth Selwyn. Burned as a witch, March 3rd, 1692.
Yes, I know. I saw the plaque in the lobby of the hotel.
You were staying at the Ravens Inn?
Yes. It was recommended to me by a friend of mine, Professor Driscoll.
Alan Driscoll?
Yes, do you know him?
No, but my grandfather speaks of him. His family come from here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Here, I think this will do for a start. A lovely locket. May I see it?
I believe it's quite old.
It is. You're very lucky.
I'm even more lucky to have found this. A treatise on devil worship in New England.
Treatise?
From where we get the Halloween term trick or treatise.
This must be a very rare book. I'm afraid I couldn't afford to buy it.
You can borrow it, if you like.
Oh, could I? That would be wonderful. I promise I'll bring it back in a few days.
You're very welcome, Miss,
Barlow. Nan Barlow.
Nan Barlow.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Yes, Miss Barlow?
I've heard some strange noises in my room.
Oh, possibly the water in the pipes. This is a very old inn.
No, it seemed to be coming from the cellar underneath.
I hardly think so, Miss Barlow. The cellars do not extend beneath your room.
But then why is there a trapdoor in the floor?
The ground was filled in many years ago to strengthen the foundations of the building.
But I'm sure
Well, if you insist, I will come and see you. I don't hear anything.
But just a few minutes ago. Never mind, I'm sorry.
You're welcome. But you can see for yourself there is no ring in the trapdoor because there is no reason to lift it. There is nothing underneath but earth.
Come in. Oh, hello, Lottie. Come in. Oh, I don't need any more towels. I haven't used mine, and they're quite clean.
Lottie, I've told you before not to bother the guests. Miss Barlow, I thought you might care to join the others.
I will as soon as I finish my notes. I'll put some clothes on and join them.
A treatise on devil worship in New England. Well, do you find this interesting?
Why, it's fascinating. The things I've learned. I bet you don't know the half of it. And you live right here on a spot where the witches were actually burnt. Listen to this. On Candleman Eve, February 1st, in the year 1692, a coven of witches, a coven that's 13, some men, some women, whose power came from the devil, gathered beneath the Ravens Inn to perform a black mass in the honor of Lúcifer. The witch Elizabeth Selwyn, later to be burnt at the stake, marked a young girl for sacrifice by obtaining an object of value belonging to her with which to call her, and leaving in its place a dead bird and a sprig of woodbine. The witches sacrificed her on the altar and drank her blood at the hour of 13. What's the hour of 13?
Well, personally, I have never heard a clock strike more than 12. Now, how about joining the dancing?
In a little while, I promise. Oh, by the way, I seem to have misplaced my locket. I remember having it in my room, and now it's disappeared.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll ask Lottie.
Well, I'm not saying it was stolen. It's just, I remember having it on the dresser, and now it's gone. I would appreciate it.
Of course. I'll look into it immediately. Lottie, I have warned you too often about annoying our guests. If you disobey me again, I shall turn you out. And if I turn you out, there will be no place for you anywhere. You do understand, Lottie, don't you? Ah, Miss Barlow. I'm afraid Lottie is nowhere to be found, but I will inquire about your locket first thing in the morning.
Oh, thank you. Where is everybody?
Most of the other guests have gone to services.
Services on the 1st of February. Candlemas Eve. The night when the witches mocked the rituals of the church.
Are you all right, Miss Barlow?
Yes, quite. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Miss Barlow.
Mrs. Newless! Mrs. Newless! Mrs. Newless!
Hey, everybody. You know, when the priest begs me to leave, I don't know about you. I'm splitting at that point. You're right. That's M-Scray, baby. I'll tell you what, I am exactly with you. Anytime the house says leave, the priest says leave, you know, the dude with the big sword or the flamethrower or the spear gun says leave, I leave. I don't have any desire to act like I'm brave. I think people know I'm not brave. You know that, right?
Especially when you're at the Bates Motel. I mean, the Raven's Inn.
That's right, the Selwyn or whatever it is. All right, everybody, let's rock.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
More future spacemen and their families help stop bad breath, help fight decay by brushing after eating with Colgate with activated Gardol. Colgate Clean is 3 ways clean. Cleaner breath, cleaner taste, cleaner teeth. Colgate with activated Gardol helps foam away food particles, decay bacteria, and decay acids. Helps fight decay as you brush.
Brush your teeth the Colgate way. Help stop bad breath. Help fight decay.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey, friends, it's Chiller Theater. Stop with that thing.
Sorry.
Really nice.
We don't have that much room here to begin.
No, you always have.
Sorry.
You're one of the few dudes that actually carries one of those. So you know what I mean. Not a lot of people carry those anymore. I mean, they're not. They were popular at one time, though. You know, see if you can maybe get us a lake trout for later. If we could smoke that up nice, that would be a delicious treat. Hey, coming up now is a segment that we have called Reels and Squeals.
Ooh.
Now, what we're looking for on Reels and Squeals is local stuff made by local folks, and we mean people in the area from the UP all the way to Madison, from La Crosse all the way to Lake Michigan. We're looking for features that you people have created. We happen to have a very cool one here. We got something from the guys at Blame Society Pictures, right? Now, they're the dudes in Madison that made the famous Chad Vader, which of course is a number of Chad Vader episodes are on YouTube that you can pick up, and we'll be showing Chad Vader next week. Ooh. But this week, we have something called Antique Roadshow. Now, if you've ever seen that show on PBS, I know you certainly watch a lot of that highbrow stuff, don't you? Yeah, I watch it when I'm getting real sleepy and stuff. I sometimes turn on PBS just to push me right over the edge, if you know what I'm saying. So, they have a show there where they do the antique deal, and these guys from Madison, Blame Society, they got together and made their version of this thing. I think you're really going to love it. So tonight, it's Reels and Squeals. It's Antique Roadshow from Aaron Yonda and Matt Sloan. Here it is.
Reels and Squeals!
Well, it was handed down to me from my grandpa a few years ago. He was a collector all his life. He had about 30 or 40 of these, and I don't know where he got this one. It's just been sitting around in my house getting dusty pretty much.
Well, people do collect all sorts of things, and so a coffin collection actually is not all that unusual. You do have sort of a rare find here, I think, in that there are not many visible nicks or scratches. It doesn't appear to have been refinished, and collectors always like that. But what really makes this piece valuable is that inside we have the body of Richard Nixon.
Oh my God, I never even noticed that before.
Never saw that, huh?
Never saw that.
Never noticed that, huh?
Never saw it.
Well, again, that is really what makes this piece valuable. And here again, he doesn't appear to have been refinished. He has very few visible nicks and scratches. He's just a stunning example of our 37th president. Now, do you mind if I ask you what you think this piece might be worth?
I don't know, $500?
Well, let me tell you something. In 1998, Gerald Ford sold at auction for $75,000. He was later found to be a counterfeit. Gerald Ford is still alive. But with a Nixon in this condition, I think you could receive $80,000 at least, if not $90,000.
I almost sold it at a garage sale last week for $5.
Well, you won't be doing that now, I imagine.
No, it's going right back on the wall when I get home.
Well, thanks for coming today.
Thank you!
All right, what do we have here? This is a giant key. It's a very big key.
I see. We have a scary mask.
This is not worth anything.
These are antique beer cans, correct?
Yeah, most of these are antiques that I got from my grandma.
or my cousin Tony Dodge.
You have Braumeister for...
No, that's German.
Well, actually...
Meister is German.
Yes, that's right. So this is a very...
What about you see the 12-point buck on this thing?
But I'm afraid this is only a picture. This is only a picture of a 12-point buck.
It looks like the one that... you know Larry Botch?
I'm afraid not.
He works out to the VFW, and he got a 12-pointer, something like that. My grandma said this is from Tiffany's. I think it was old Tiffany Halverson. Check this out.
Oh my goodness, it actually works.
Yeah, the light goes on. I don't know if that makes it more valuable or less valuable. Here's what I say. I say, when the light comes on, it's drinking time.
And indeed it is.
Yeah,
indeed it is.
Usually the light comes on around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. But I never seen something like that before. You don't see that much no more.
No, thankfully you don't. In total, I'd say your entire beer can collection is worth, say $5 to $10.
Well, that'll get me a couple of minutes on the slots up there, Go Chunk.
Well, there we go.
This is a Ming vase. It's from the Ming Dynasty. Some monks got together with some Buddhists and some peasants, and they made vases. This is one of them. As you can see, the quality is not good. It's bad, but rare. This is extremely rare and in extremely good condition. I would say that a vase in this condition is worth $200,000 to $300,000.
Wow.
Yes, you're a rich woman. So, thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Antiquities Roadshow is brought to you by the Arthur Randall Midlands Corporation, maker of the world's finest Midlands, and viewers not unlike you.
Well, there you have it, friends, on Reels and Squeals. That Antique Roadshow Richard Nixon's coffin, man. It just gets no stranger than that. Once again, though, here's what we're looking for. We know that there's those of you out there who've made movies. You know what? And we want to see them here on our old Chiller Theater. You know, we're going to put them on the air. And how many chances do you have to put your nasty, rotten old movies on Chiller Theater? So where shall they go, Hain Dog, to sign up? NanTheDead.com. Nice. That was well done. Go to it. Boy, that was quick, too. As you can tell, the crew, we actually had I'm actually going to play some chirping next time I talk to you. I'm going to release the crickets. Boy, that was, I'll tell you, old Matt going quick there. He was jumping at the chance to bring that up. Friends, if you have a movie that you've made and you want to get it on Chiller Theater, go to NanTheDead.com. There's a place for you to kind of let us know about your flick, and we'll talk it over. We'll get it from you, and we want to play them. That's what we're all about. Keep in mind now, next week on Reels and Squeals, we're showing Chad Vader by these same guys from Madison, Blame Society.
Chad Vader.
Chad Vader, the story of Darth Vader's brother Chad, who works in the grocery store. I'm telling you, folks, it was an internet sensation, and we'll be showing it right here on Chiller Theater. It is so funny, so awesome. I know you're going to like it. Once again, if you know people who make movies, say, hey, Reels and Squeals, Chiller Theater, that's where you get it. Let's head back to our movie, Roll It Lester, or what?
Help me! Help! Ah! Let me go! Ah, no! Ah, take your hands off of me! Let me go! No! No! Ah! No! Let go of me! No! Ah! 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 Ah!
4, 5, 6, 7.
No! No!
I am Elizabeth Selwyn.
No!
11.
No! Let go of me! Let go!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susie. yummy. Delicious.
Dick, have you got any idea what's happened to Nan?
I'm sure she'll show up. She probably met a good-looking he-witch and is bringing him along to the party, only their broomstick blew a gasket.
Oh, it's not like Nan to be late for anything. Aren't you a bit worried about her?
She'll be here. I'm sure she'll make it.
Unless something came up and she got stuck.
Oh, she's just cutting it close.
Oh, that's a good one. Thanks for taking a stab at it.
It's probably her now.
You answer the door, and I'm going to put a record on for some dancing.
All right. Hi, Dick. Bill. Oh, what's the matter? You expecting somebody else? Oh, yes, Nan. Look, come in, come in. Well, Nan, didn't she hear you? We made a date to meet here before she left for Whitewood. Well, she probably got held up.
Actually, I think she got held down.
Oh, stop it.
Look, give me your coat, huh? Nan was never late for anything in her life. Relax. Take it easy. Join the party. She'll be here. Dick. Dick, I haven't had a letter from Nan in over 2 weeks now. She's probably been too busy working on her paper. No, there's something wrong, I know it. Look, will you do something for me? Hmm? Ring up Whitewood, will you? Ask him if she's left. You serious? Yes, I am. Okay. On a long distance, I'd like to speak with Miss Nan Barlow at the Ravens Inn, Whitewood. No, I don't know the phone number. What? Didn't she give you the phone number? I know, but that's my sister. They say there's no such place as the Ravens Inn. But that's crazy. She's staying there. Give me the police.
She left in such a hurry, she must have forgotten to return it to you, Miss Russell.
She seems such a nice girl, too. Wouldn't have thought she was the sort who'd forget to return a book.
We cannot always judge by our first impressions, can we?
I'm not usually wrong about the people I lend my books to.
Well, perhaps you'll be more careful in future.
Thank you for letting me have it.
Remember me to your grandfather. Lottie, get out of the way, you clumsy creature.
Can I help you?
Yes, we're from the sheriff's office. We had a call this evening. A missing persons report from some college kid named Nan Barlow. The party calling said that her last known whereabouts was the Ravens Inn.
Nan Barlow, that's strange. Yes, I met her.
When did you last see her?
About 2 weeks ago. She came to my shop and borrowed this book. It's quite valuable, and so not hearing from her, I decided to come and get it. Mrs. Newless had it.
May I? Her treatise on devil worship. I must put this in the report. Peculiar things some of these college kids do nowadays. Well, thanks for your help. Come on, Charlie.
Hello?
You the one lost the girl?
Yeah,
Well, we went to look for her, but you can't believe how foggy it is out there.
it's police.
She could be there. We didn't see her.
Yeah?
It's really foggy. Seriously foggy.
Okay, thanks.
You have a lovely voice.
Thank you. Well? Police sent a car out to the Ravens Inn. And checked out 2 weeks ago.
Can't get it.
Well, neither do I.
Look, these are Nan's books and papers. Go through them. See if you can find anything which might give us a lead. I'm going to pay a visit to a colleague of mine.
Hey everybody, we're back on Chiller Theater. There's times when Doc and we're watching the same movie you're watching, and we're thinking, boy, what do you think about that? And Doc, I said, Doc, you got anything? What did you say? Not really. So in that case, we usually talk about something upsetting. Oh, I'm still spitting up pieces of that stuff that Vicky sent us with the horrible mail. You know, send stuff in, folks. We enjoy having you send things. Look what happened last week. Look what we got there. We get stuff like that. So we love you here at Chiller, and we love our sponsors. So join us and give us stuff.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
Hey, Joe, how's the meeting going?
Hi, Jack. Fine, just swell. How about telling the story about the young friend of yours and the dream he had that came true?
Well, yes, Joe, it's a wonderful story, and I'll bet that all of our club members have had the same dream at one time or another. Well, Tommy knew exactly what he wanted for Christmas. He wanted an electric train. He had the whole thing in his mind, even to the table where he was going to set it up. Sitting there at the table, he could picture the whole thing, and he would dream so hard that the whole thing would come to life right before his eyes. Of course, Tommy was a pretty strong wisher, and what he started wishing for was a pretty fancy-looking train set with locomotive and freight cars, and the station and the gateman, the water tower, and all kinds of wonderful equipment and accessories. So grand that you might think Tommy was wishing for something that just didn't exist. But Tommy knew what he was wishing for. And sure enough, on Christmas morning, Tommy's dream came true. Because Tommy had told his father that he wanted Lionel. Just the low-priced Lionel Scout train set with a few Lionel accessories. Yes, even the simplest of Lionel train sets and track layouts is a wonderful, thrilling, complete model railroad. That's because it's made by Lionel. Lionel, the originator of the electric model train, makers of the most realistic, scale-detailed model train equipment. Lionel, the only model train with Magna traction.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Barbie. Yes, sir. What?
There's some Christopher Lee coming up in case you wondered where he was.
Right.
He hasn't been featured prominently in this particular flick.
Well, you know what I want to know is, they hire the big guns like Christopher Lee, right? And then what do they only pay him maybe $50 and then they only show up for one scene at the end, or how does that work?
Probably shot it all in one day, too.
How many movies is a guy like that in? Probably hundreds over.
And still showing up. Like I mentioned the Lord of the Rings and the Star Wars movies he was in his 80s, man.
80s.
What are you going to be doing in your 80s?
Well, dude, look at me now. I've been doing this for almost 25 years. I may be doing this horrible thing right here.
Wow.
Picture me when I'm 80 years old. The crotchety, fat little old sucker going, and it's not a lot different than what I do right now. Can you picture that? I'll have the pins on and a little gurgling colostomy,
Absorbent fabric.
I'll be old enough where my body will just make that noise by itself. I keep my mouth going, it'll be my stomach.
Hey, welcome home, boss. Listen, while you were at Whitewood for the sacrifice, Dr. Strange called. He wants his cape back.
O Lord of Light, accept the sacrifice.
Didn't get enough stabbing today.
Oh, that's sanitary. Washing up with a little gargoyle spewage.
Barlow. May I come in? Of course, please do. I'll take your coat. I tried to phone you last night, but I guess you weren't in.
No, I wasn't. Would you care to go in the study? Sit yourself down.
Thanks.
You take a drink?
Ryan soda.
Ice, please. So what's on your mind?
Well, Nan's missing. And she has been since the day after she arrived at Whitewood.
Really? You quite sure?
That's what the police said.
What are they doing about it?
Carrying out a routine check? I don't suppose they can do much more until they've got something definite to go on.
Well, I would have thought there was a very great deal more they could do.
What? As far as they're concerned, she disappeared 2 weeks ago, and no one in the village seems to know anything about it.
What did you come see me for?
I thought you might have some ideas. Why did you send her to Whitewood?
Because it was the best place for her research.
And you suggested she stay at the Raven's Inn.
Sure, it's the only inn there is.
With an unlisted phone number?
The inn has its own clientele, Barlow. It doesn't need to advertise.
How do you know it so well?
Because I was born in Whitewood.
I see. You'd have every reason to believe she'd be perfectly safe in going there.
I have no reason to suppose that she wouldn't be. Nan struck me as being perfectly capable of taking care of herself.
I grant you that, but why hasn't she come back or let us know?
Look, Barlow, I can understand your anxiety, but I'm quite sure there's nothing for you to worry about. Nothing at all. She's probably got absorbed in the subject and gone off someplace. I wish that all my class had her application.
Yeah, well, I'm going to find out where this application led her. I'm going to retrace every step Nan took. I'm either going to find Nan or know what happened to her.
I can't stop you from going.
No.
You're not afraid?
Afraid? Why?
Well, if anything did happen to your sister and somebody else went along to try and find out about it.
Same thing might happen to them?
Possible.
You seem to think something happened to my sister then.
No, I just think you're jumping to conclusions, Barlow.
Maybe, but I shall find her.
Professor Driscoll,
Yes.
I don't like to disturb you, but may I see you?
Well, of course, please come in. Good luck in Whitewood.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, but did you say he was going to Whitewood?
Yes, he is.
Silly to be surprised, but I've just come from Whitewood.
Really? It's quite a coincidence. My own family happens to come from Whitewood. As a matter of fact, I was born there.
Yes, I know.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Do you care for a drink?
No, thank you. I think you know my grandfather, the Reverend Russell.
Russell? Why, yes, of course I do. How long have you been living in Whitewood?
Since my grandmother died a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, now, how can I help you?
I've come about a pupil of yours, Barlow, Nan Barlow.
Yes?
She came to Whitewood 2 weeks ago. I met her and liked her, and she told me that she was a student in one of your classes, that you recommended that she stay at the Raven's Inn.
That's quite right, I did.
Well, that's what I've come to see you about. On the day after she arrived, she disappeared.
Oh?
Later, the police came asking questions. Her family were worried. I thought you might have their address.
And why do you want our family's address?
Because I have something of hers I want to return.
Well, you just leave it with me, and I'll make sure they get it safely.
Well, I don't want to trouble you. If you just give me their address.
As you wish. Her address is Dorchester Street, 225. She lives with her brother. Matter of fact, he's a colleague of mine. You just met him. He was leaving when you arrived. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm rather a busy man at the moment.
Of course. Thank you for your help.
Not at all. I hope it achieves something. Well, you will remember me to your grandfather, won't you?
Yes, of course. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Miss Russell.
Yeah, that's Nan's locket, all right.
As far as I know, it's unique. I gave it to her. Where did you get it?
The servant at the inn gave it to me. It was strange. I don't think she wanted Mrs. Newless to know I had it.
Mrs. Newless?
She runs the inn.
Well, why did you come here, Miss Russell?
I found this.
Professor Driscoll's notepaper.
I found it in the pages of a book I lent your sister on her first evening in Whitewood. When she didn't return it, I went to the hotel.
What was the book?
An old book. Book about witchcraft.
Do you believe in it, Miss Russell?
I don't know. Sometimes I almost think I live with it.
Live with it?
It's an obsession of my grandfather's. Up till now, I didn't take him very seriously. He's an old man. Now I'm beginning to wonder if what he says isn't true.
What does he say?
That there's something evil about the village. That on certain nights, the inhabitants leave the streets, close their doors, and stay behind them. That on these nights, the dead come to life.
Nights like Candleman Eve?
What do you know about Candlemas Eve?
It's in one of Nan's books.
I don't believe it. Things like this don't happen today.
Whitewood, I wonder.
I'm going to Whitewood tomorrow after classes. I can give you a lift.
Thank you, but I must get back. I can't leave my grandfather alone. He's blind.
May I come and see you when I arrive? I'd like to have a talk with him.
Please do. It's the house next to the church. Goodbye.
Bye. I'll see you at the door.
Quick, turn on the high beams, and it's just like making the jump to hyperspace.
Stop that.
Would you be going to Whitewood?
Yes.
Would you take me along with you? It's a dark night for walking.
You're making some funny mouth noises. You know that? You make mouth noises without even talking.
I'm thinking about growing a hunchback. What do you think? What do you think?
You know, if people could think about growing something and then grow it, I'll tell you what, be a lot of dudes walking different, if you know what I'm saying. That'd be, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if you could just grow whatever you wanted, and if you felt that somehow there was an inadequacy in your life, and you know what, I'd really like to think of what people would look like if they could just grow any part of them that they wished. Don't stop that. Do not ever do that.
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
Here we go! Who's the mighty hero who really rings the bell? That's right, it's your man from Bedrock, Fred Flintstone, rocking you with hysterical prehistorical family comedy on The Flintstones.
1 egg or 2, Fred?
Yes, the Flintstones are cooking up some real surprises this year. You'll see big-name guest stars like Anne Margrock.
I ain't going to be a fool no more. Cried until my eyes are sore.
Little Pebbles is cuter than ever. She really has a ball. And nothing can stop Fred and his friend Barney as they hot rod their way into new foul-ups.
Uh-oh, here comes the police.
Watch the swinging show that everybody goes for, The Flintstones, every week on ABC TV.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
Hey everybody, it's Chiller Theater. I love it here in the old booth, man. I'll tell you what, it's sometimes it's just amazing in here, isn't it? I'll tell you, you folks don't know how neat it is to be able to spend time back here in the booth. Although, it gets a little funny back here after a while. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Talk to me, my friend. Come on.
Funny or funky?
No, it is. It's funky. Well, think about it. We're two big, two larger guys, you know what I mean? And it gets warm, the lights are warm, and we begin to generate a broth at this point in the show. I'm a bouillabaisse right now. What I did was I actually put some veal chops in my pants tonight and some bay leaves that I actually taped certain spices. Get off the ground. Just get off the ground or I'm leaving the booth. Until you get up, I am leaving the booth because I do not trust you when you are there. All right, the bay leaves, those kind of things. Let's head back to Chiller Theater quickly.
You're the Reverend Russell's granddaughter, aren't you?
Yes, how did you know?
I know a great deal about Whitewood.
Have you ever been there?
Now and then.
Never seen you.
To see me is a special privilege. It's reserved for a chosen few.
What does that mean?
We'll soon be at Whitewood now.
This is as far as I go, you will.
She's pretty, too.
Yes, she is. Very pretty.
A living descendant of those who were cursed. It somehow seems to make it better.
Another day.
And tomorrow,
The Witch's Sabbath.
Which way to Wamport Road?
Straight ahead, forking the road. You see a sign, turn left. You heading for Whitewood?
I am. Many people head this way?
Not many.
Is this the only way in and out of the town?
In this direction, yep.
You wouldn't remember by any chance a pretty girl in a convertible about a month ago?
Barlow girl. Read about her in the papers. Never seen her again. Told the police.
Thanks.
Could you tell me the way to Whitewood, please?
Another one. Straight ahead, forking the road. You see a sign, Wamport Road, turn left, takes you right in.
Well, thanks.
Let me warn you, young fella, they don't like strangers in Whitewood.
Okay, fine. Thanks very much.
You know what he just had?
What?
Foggy Mountain Breakdown.
Nice. And that big HD TV in the road? They got those at Van Vriedes?
Oh, yeah, but they don't come with that flaming witch. And their color.
Oh.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like a room, please.
The inn is closing.
I'll only be here a few days.
But the inn is closing.
When?
In 2 days.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay until then.
If you insist.
Well, could I have the same room my sister had? Still available, isn't it?
Yes, it's available.
Mrs. Newless, you told the police that my sister checked out.
You are mistaken, Mr. Barlow. I told them that on the morning of February 2nd, I went to her room and found it empty, her bed not slept in, her luggage and car gone, and her bill unpaid.
Well, you can put the charges on mine. When was the last time you saw her?
On the evening of February 1st. It was shortly before midnight. She'd been in the lobby here dancing with some of the guests. She seemed to be enjoying herself.
Did any particular guest pay a special attention to her?
And not that I noticed. Your sister kept very much to herself.
You know why she came to Whitewood?
It is not my habit to inquire into people's private business.
Would the fact that she was investigating witchcraft have antagonized anyone in the village?
Hardly. There have been other students here, you know. Besides, your sister was a very agreeable and likable young woman.
Well, have you any idea where she might have gone?
None.
Thank you. Now, may I see the room?
As you wish. It is this way. you should need anything, and I am not at the desk, you have only to ring the bell.
Thank you. Hello.
I'm so glad you've come. I saw your car outside the Ravens Inn earlier. I wondered what had happened to you.
I've been talking with Mrs. Newless, and then I took a walk around the village.
Find out anything?
Everyone here seems to be afraid of something.
And you don't think it's just my imagination?
I don't know. Who's to say where imagination ends and truth begins? It's nothing tangible. It's just the way they look at you.
I felt it, too.
May I see the book that Nan borrowed?
Yes. I put a marker between the pages where she must have stopped reading. Just sit down, and I'll tell my grandfather you're here.
Thank you.
I warned you, Lottie.
Grandfather, this is Mr. Barlow.
How do you do, sir?
God be with you.
Shall we sit where we'll be more comfortable? Here's your chair, Grandfather. You must be tired.
I am very tired. I have little strength left these days for the fight.
Won't you sit down? I'll make some coffee.
The fight against what, Mr. Russell?
Against the evil that besets this village. The people are creatures of the devil. They know no other god.
You mean they worship Satan here? Today?
Satanism was never stronger than at the present time. For 200 years, the people of Whitewood have carried out rituals that mock the church's teaching.
I find it very hard to believe, sir.
Do not doubt, my son. It is real enough. For years I struggled against the witches. Their master took away my sight.
Seems incredible.
I have tried to convince others. They too found it unbelievable. But I know these people have a pact with the devil to worship him and do his works. In return, he gives them eternal life.
Eternal life?
Aye. And to seal this bargain, We must sacrifice a young girl on 2 nights of the year.
When are these nights, sir?
Candleman Eve and the Witch's Sabbath.
Candlemas Eve, that's February the 1st. And when is the Witch's Sabbath?
Tonight.
Now you know why I came to see you.
I had no idea it was so late. May I have a rain check on the coffee? I'd like to have a few words with Miss Newless again.
Of course.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
I'll see you to the door.
God be with us.
Well, Miss Russell, do you think that Nan's disappearance is connected in some way with these witches' ceremonies?
Yes,
Well, I'd like to come back later if I may.
please do. And my name is Pat.
Well, mine's Richard.
I think I feel better now you're here.
Well, I'm going to stay until I find out what's happened to Nan.
Take care. Now drink your coffee before it gets cold.
You must not see that young man again tonight.
Why not?
The devil comes in many disguises.
I'll get you a spoon. And Father, there's a bird in the drawer. It's got an arrow through it.
Go and look on the front door.
It's a sprig of woodbine.
Shut the door. Shut the door quickly.
Grandfather, what does it mean?
Now listen, my darling. This is their sign. The witch's sign.
What can we do?
We must leave here. Leave here immediately.
Stop the car. Something's wrong. It wrecked the car.
Barlow! Phone Barlow!
Hello? Hello? Hello, I want the Raven's Inn.
Yes, Mrs. Newless. Mr. Barlow.
That for me?
Yes.
Hello?
Dick? Dick, I'm in terrible danger. We've got to leave Whitewood at once.
Danger? But from what?
We've got to leave...
Pat!
Dick, help me!
Patricia! Pat!
Now, tell me once more there, Mr. Maitland, why you be driving off the road like you done. And don't be telling me that flame and witch story again.
No, that one never plays, does it?
Where's the cop when you need him?
No, I know. I'll tell you what. They never believe the flaming witch story either. I've used that one a couple of times myself. You know, I'll tell you what. That's just not one that the officers... Yeah, they don't go for that one really at all. In fact, with me, they rarely go for any story. I pretty much just say, okay, thank you very much, because I just have something
Do they
about
recognize you?
Well, when I'm wearing this, they do, that's for sure. Get!
You're watching Chiller Theater. We'll be right back.
He's coming. It's King Zor. King Zor, the fighting dinosaur. He's on a rampage. Aim your dinosaur gun. Quick, hit his tail. Fire! King Zor is fighting mad. He's backing up to put you off guard. He's turning toward you. Look out. He's firing missiles. Each time you hit his tail, King Zor, the dinosaur, fights back. He never gives up. Nothing stops King Zor. When he hits his tongue, he backs up and turns away, ready to fight again. There's never been a fighting dinosaur like King Zor. Get King's Or, complete with 5 missiles, 5 darts, and a dinosaur gun. Be ready for King's Or. He's ready for you.
Welcome back to Chiller Theater.
The witching hour approaches.
That's right, everybody. Horror Hotel ends now.
Patricia! Mr. Russell, are you there?
What's happened, Mr. Russell?
The witches have Patricia destroyed it.
Mr. Russell, how?
The shadow of the cross. Use the cross. I adjure thee, O creatures of salt, by the living God.
Mr. Russell.
Maitland! Maitland, what's happened?
Oh. Hello, operator?
We've been waiting for you.
Dick, these are the dead who killed Nan.
Barlow.
Help me.
Come on, Pat.
Dick, right. Dick!
Maitland! Get to a cross! A cross! Shadow of a cross!
Dick, he's moving.
Lift the cross! Quick! I'm jersey by the living God! Back to the cross! Come nearer, Bill! Get the shadow of him! It comes nearer.
Not fail. We must finish the sacrifice.
Dick!
Wait! Wait for the hour of 13.
You right?
Think so.
Got a score to settle with Mrs. Newless. You stay here.
I think there were 14 bell tolls there. I was trying. I think there were 14.
Well, you know,
if I'm not mistaken.
Leave it to you to actually count. You know what I'm saying? Leave it to you. And that horrible. Would be. And actually, it's funny that you do this because next week's movie, you'll see that this kind of a thing is going to be very. It's going to be essential for next week's movie, and I'll tell you why in a minute. No, I won't. You just tune in next week and see it for yourselves. All right, everybody. Next week we have Corpse Grinders. We want to thank you for watching Chiller Theater. We love you. Thanks, Van Brady's. Thank you, sponsors.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoy.
Thanks for watching Ned the Dead and Doc Moreau. Remember to check out their stuff at nedthedead.com.